Well, I think overall both were entertaining. I know the first game overall was a little bit of a blowout. And yes, I might have put some money on Washington, and I feel like an idiot for it. And, of course, no other team has ever won 4 straight road games or a rookie in the Super Bowl. So we learned on that one. But we got a great game between the Chiefs and the Bills. I really thought it was a great game. And in the end, the Chiefs are now going to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. We'll have a rematch, Chiefs and Eagles, from just a couple of years ago. But the long and short of that game was the Chiefs are closers. They know how to close it out. And it wasn't just hand the ball off, get a first down, take a couple of knees, and go home. That wasn't the case whatsoever. This was a nice designed play on the outside for a first down run. Or a first down pass, excuse me. And then they set up that great throw to Samaje Perine on the sideline. They were excellent plays. They knew how to close the door. They knew how to stop the Josh Allen runs. They closed it out. When it mattered, they absolutely closed it out. Credit to their defense. And at times, I was really frustrated with Buffalo. I bet the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs all along. But the Bills, they still had a chance to win this game with 3 minutes or so to go, or under 3 minutes. So it wasn't about the refs. Were there some interesting play calls or calls from the ref? Yes, but I blame the play calls. Like at times, Buffalo constantly going for it. There was no element of surprise. You never tried to run them off sides and then call a timeout. It was just they knew what to expect. They had the game plan. They played them so many times. It's just, at times, I thought the Bills were outcoached. And, yep, Josh Allen's a generational talent, and I'm going to get into him in a little bit. And I feel like today, a lot of people are crediting him. He lost to Mahomes. Got a take on that one. Don't like that whatsoever. But Eagles, Chiefs, a rematch in the Super Bowl. How about Jalen Hurts back in the Super Bowl after losing just a couple of years ago? How often does that happen? Where a guy loses the first time and gets back there. And I'm talking, no, some guys go once and never go again. And I can give you a list if you want. But when it comes to the conversation of who could be the next quarterback to win a Super Bowl, how many people truly put Jalen Hurts in that conversation? And the guy's a straight-up winner, whether you go back to his Alabama days. I know he got benched, still on a team that won. And then when he went to Oklahoma, that was a really good team. He reinvented himself. He became a second-round pick. He had Carson Wentz in front of him. He won the job. He got them to the Super Bowl. Was an MVP candidate. Like all those things. He's back in the Super Bowl. How about Nick Sirianni? Man, I thought this guy was going to get fired at some point. And I thought the way he handled last week's game against the Rams, first half and second half, that was horrible. I thought that was going to bleed over at times. He's back. He's joined some elite company going to back-to-back Super Bowls, or at least 2 Super Bowls. I shouldn't say back-to-back. Coaches to make 2 Super Bowls in 3 seasons. You ready for this list? Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. I just talked about quarterbacks who lose and hardly ever go back, or 2 Super Bowls in 3 seasons. He joined some elite company right there. Reid, Tomlin, Carroll, Belichick, Nick Sirianni. Ugh. But you know what? He faced the adversity. He lost some talent on his coaching staff. Man, he was almost fired. He got into it with Jalen Hurts. There were times where the guys didn't even communicate. He handles huge personalities on that team. A.J. Brown knows they're so good he has to read a book in between plays to keep his head straight on. And then they go out, get Saquon Barkley, and he fits right in. Nick Sirianni, holy smokes, I didn't see that type of turnaround. But when it comes to the Chiefs, I do have some Chief fatigue, but I'll tell you this weekend, I was witnessing greatness. Andy Reid, to make those calls, to close it out like that, balls. But he knew it. If you think about Buffalo, They probably thought it was run, milk the clock, do what you can to just close out the game, not win the game. And I see that too many times. Not enough coaches in this league play to win games. We saw it this year. And I know it was a terrible game and terrible teams. But that's what the Colts did when they played the Patriots this year. They kept it in their quarterback's hands. They got down to the goal line, and when they scored, they knew what they were going to do, and they wanted to win the game. But this is the biggest situation, the big matchup, the one everyone's watching. All you hear about is Mahomes, Allen. Buffalo, it's their year. They're America's team. All the money was on Buffalo yesterday. And by the way, Vegas absolutely cleaned house. There was so much money on Washington and Buffalo, and the house won big. We're witnessing history with the Chiefs. We're witnessing greatness with the Chiefs. I don't compare it to the Patriots at all. Once they get to 6 or 7, that's when I start to do it. Winning 3 in a row is something else, though. And as I look ahead to this Eagles-Chiefs matchup, the Chiefs are a slight favorite. They opened as favorites, -1, 1.5, no matter what book. I saw Circa had -1.5. I want to see where this thing ends up. I think we're in for a doozy. In the end, I'm going to go with the coach and the quarterback. But I've done that before against the Eagles in my lifetime. The Eagles have been in that situation. I know it's a brand new team. We are witnessing history, witnessing greatness with the Chiefs. And on Super Bowl Sunday, in a way, I want to see if the Eagles can take them down. I just don't see it happening. So we'll lead it off there tonight, 617-779-0985. The Chiefs are closers. I wanted to just bring up a list that Josh Allen may be going towards. And I'm telling you, I don't think it's a good thing by any means. And let's take a look at the coaches playing in the Super Bowl. And where were those quarterbacks drafted? Whereabouts? We'll get into all that as we're here until 7 o'clock tonight. The Celtics back in action tonight. Welcome in Ime Udoka and the Rockets. We'll have you until then. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
Are they going to try the tush push again?
You know they will. They're 3 for 3 on 4th down in this half. Allen push from behind. I think he got it. The crowd here, the far side judge says first down the way he's stepping, and the near side
they're moving it back. They're both moving it back. They had it easily over. They brought it back quite a bit.
He's looking from the other side where the football is. Right there. Does he get enough to get to that line? Just had to get to that line. The line judge on the far side, initially his spot was coming in about a foot inside the 40. Then the near side linesman came in and said he was short of it. They had 2 different marks. Let's see what they come with.
After review, the ruling in the field stands as called. The first down, Kansas City.
Wow.
How did you see it, Gene?
I felt like he gained it by about a third of the football, Jim. That was just my take on the play. Tough play.
I agree.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Got Skaz in the house, getting the audio for us here. Taking you up until Celtics basketball tonight. Rockets in green. That was the play right there that it was a big moment of the game. Do I think there was a wrangle? And I think you all know I'm all about the wrangle. I think myself and Dan Lipschatz have created the wrangle. The ref angle is real. Now, does it change the outcome of the games or the reason why? How about this? I do think that there are plays that happen where the officials are involved that impacts the game. Now, do I think that they're on the take or doing it because they agree on they want a certain team to win? In the NFL, I don't feel that way. Like, I don't. But have there been some Chiefs moments this year where they got the calls? Absolutely. But that's what happens when you're good. And I brought this up yesterday to Leroy, so I wanted to double down on it today. For the stuff that Mahomes does that people don't like, I actually thought Brady was way better at that. I thought when Brady got hit low, he would point at the defender and look at the ref, and he would scream at the ref, and he'd get the call. I can bring up Terrell Suggs. There's many different ones. There were times where Brady begged for the call and didn't get it. So if we're talking about that Mahomes versus Brady when it comes to that debate, they both did it. But in a way, the Chiefs seem to get bailed out. The late hit out of bounds a couple of years ago, that was brutal. That was against the Bengals, right? That put them up to get the game-winning field goal. That impacted the game. That flag impacted the game. I thought last week, the push-off play from Keon Coleman that they threw the penalty on Baltimore, I thought that impacted the game because they would have had to punt, and the Ravens scored 2 touchdowns in a row. The whole 2-point conversion thing would have been no. But I had a lot of problems with the broadcast last night. When Josh Allen went for it, I thought they should have challenged it or brought out the chains on 3rd down. What happened to the chain gang? What happened to this thing? I've joked about this before, but I had friends in high school whose dads would hold the chains. In college, they do the same thing. What happened to measurements in the NFL? This would have been a great spot for one. I would have wanted that on 3rd down. Then on 4th down, you actually know the line to get. What was the line to get? We assumed the line to get. We thought the ball hit the line to get. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. One ref came in, thought they got it. One ref came in, thought they didn't. There needs to be a better way to handle this thing. And the broadcast, I thought, was horrible about it. I didn't know what the ruling on the field was. Like, all I saw was Chris Jones and everybody celebrating. And then them going to the video. I didn't know if the ruling on the field was first down. I didn't know what was going on. It was hard to understand. And then you get Romo in there, and then Gene Steratore is like, third of the football. It was really hard to understand. So, I don't know. Bring back the chains. That's where I start. And then later on in the game, it was the Kincaid play. First of all, I can't believe Kincaid even had a shot at that thing. But he dropped it. Where was the flag on the field? The flag on the field was there. So I can understand some people thinking was that flag in case he did catch the ball and the Chiefs would have got. I can understand that joke. I can belly laugh at that one. I thought the broadcast was not great. And if I had to, as much crap as Tom Brady has got as a broadcaster, he was better than Tony Romo yesterday. At times, it's just football, right? Just what's the call on the play? What do they need to get it? The first down. And then when you have the next play, on the replay, they know what they're looking for. There were times where I couldn't understand what was going on in the game. But I do not think I don't think at all the Chiefs got a wrangle or the Cleve Blakeman was on his side or any of that stuff. Out on that. In the end, I thought that the Bills went away from probably their best player of the day in James Cook and kept it in the ball, their best quarterback, their best player, and the Chiefs had the blueprint. I thought there was a coaching mismatch as well. 617-779-0985. Skaz, you watch the games. I'm Brady over Romo all day long. But on that Josh Allen play there, I honestly didn't know what the call on the field was. I assume they stopped him. Then they went to the thing. Then they come back and say, I don't even know how they could have even said either way if they came away with something. Romo, I hate. Again, I don't know what it is. I just can't stand his voice. But that whole outcome, I don't blame the refs. I don't blame the league. I just think the Bills maybe should have gotten the measurement on third down so they know what they needed on fourth down.
Maybe they should have run the ball in the second half. I don't know. That would have been something I would have tried. James Cook was averaging something like 8 yards per carry, and they completely went away from that.
By the way, his touchdown was unbelievable.
Unbelievable touchdown.
That was an individual effort.
And I'm with you on the Brady thing. I thought Brady was better than Romo yesterday. If Brady just didn't say the word stud 75 times, he loves calling everybody a stud. But I did think he was much better than Romo yesterday. I still don't think he's going to be great for the Super Bowl, but it's more of a him and Burkhardt thing than a Brady Romo thing. And yeah, I'm with you. I think the refs had very little impact on the outcome of that game. If you're the Bills, don't fumble 5 times. I know they recovered every single fumble, but you fumble 5 times in an AFC Championship game, you don't deserve to win. That has nothing to do with the refs. They had a bad game plan. I thought yesterday was a really bad day for Joe Brady. I thought Joe Brady really struggled in the second half, some of his play calling. And, it was Ben Johnson-esque almost the way he struggled against the Commanders. So tough day for the offensive coordinators in the playoffs. But I thought Joe Brady really, him and McDermott both, bad day yesterday.
I thought they had a really bad day. And listen, I don't think McDermott should lose his job. I don't think Joe Brady should either, really.
But Joe, weren't you of the belief that there was a chance Sirianni might lose his job if the Eagles lost?
Absolutely.
So why don't you feel the same for McDermott? He's been there a bunch and can't get over the hump.
I wonder if that's what's going on in Buffalo Sports Radio today. Like, okay, who's the upgrade? Is it like, do you just make Joe Brady the head coach? Like
after watching that yesterday, I don't know.
Like that's what I mean. Give Mike McCarthy or McDermott.
See, people probably call me crazy. Mike McCarthy's probably a better head coach.
Well, we do notice the type of coach that's in the Super Bowl, right?
Offensive.
Mm-hmm.
The very highly paid defensive coordinator.
Yep. And who lost, by the way, yesterday? Dan Quinn.
Defensive-minded guy.
With the highly priced offensive coordinator, right?
Cliff Kingsbury.
And we just watched what happened with Buffalo. I'm trying to somehow swing this all towards the Patriots at some point.
Joe, yeah.
But the Patriots have Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. And remember, they 2 head coaches is the term. Does that? I hate that analogy. And then watching yesterday, I still think the offensive-minded coach is the way in the league. By the way, the quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Where was Jalen Hurts drafted? Where was Patrick Mahomes drafted?
I believe Jalen Hurts was a second-round draft pick. I believe Patrick Mahomes was 10th overall.
And if I recall, the last there were 2 number 1 picks who played against each other, Burrow, Stafford. I'm trying to think a little bit here, but I'm just thinking, because there was Brady and then there was Mahomes once. I'm trying to come up with there's a defensive-minded head coach with a high-priced offensive coordinator with a number 3 overall quarterback. How successful is that? Like, how many kicks at the can do you get? Like, yeah, if you want to use Jimmy Garoppolo when he went years ago, the 49ers, second-round pick. Brock Purdy goes, he's a 7th-round pick. I'm just, when I know Burrow went, Stafford went, but in the end, is it really that important? I know good quarterbacks in this league is what everybody wants, and it's all about the quarterback and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. By the way, I had a developing Josh McDaniels take over the weekend that I'll share with you on the other side here, but defensive-minded coaches with the offensive coordinator, it didn't work. It didn't work to get to the Super Bowl. 617-779-0985. Gino's in the car. Hey, Gino.
Hey, what's up, Joe? So just want to talk about the game last night and how I've been going out through social media, and I see people posting stuff about, like, oh, Mahomes is the GOAT. Mahomes, how close is he? And, the way I look at it, he deserves to be in that conversation. I'm not here to say he sucks or anything, but I just can't overlook the fact that he had 2 chances in the playoffs to beat Tom Brady and to take that torch from him, and he just never did. You know what I mean? Like, when he had those 2 chances, he failed. So, like, that, it's crossing sports and not a perfect comparison, but I think of Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain. So, real quick, what's your Royal Rumble prediction, too?
Well, you're going to have to wait for that one this weekend. I'm doing a podcast with Jay Stu this week. Stick to wrestling. We got plenty of days for that. Was he trying to mention the Mahomes-Brady thing there? I'm not. Brady won 7 championships. Like, if they win this thing, I'll put them with that first 01 to 04 Patriots. Now, granted, he'll have 4. And, one of the first to do it since, I think, the Packers. I don't even know if that was NFL. That might have been old days there. But can we just all admit that Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback? And we don't have to compare him to Brady. And I'll just flat out say this. Patrick Mahomes is 10 times the athlete that Tom Brady ever was. Sorry. I know people don't like that one. But this guy was an elite arm talent with foot speed. He's built. He's got a dad bod and a half. Like, Brady had to work to get to where he was and the longevity and all that. If Patrick Mahomes plays into his 40s, which I don't think he ever should, by the way. What's he going to? Dude, he could win 2 more and call it a day. I hate the Brady-Mahomes comparison. And it's not that, like, I have Brady-Mahomes 1-2. That's my ranking. When Patrick Mahomes wins 7 or more, I'll crown him. You want me to crown him, Skaz? Because I'll crown him.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
The Chiefs are in the Super Bowl because we are who they thought they were. Patrick Mahomes is who we think he is. Just stop the Brady comparisons. And I'm not one of those, don't break my records. Like, if the Lakers end up passing the Celtics again for championships, I don't care. Was it going to take away from last year? Is it going to take away from 08 or any of those other ones? Are they going to take down Max's MVP award? Right? Did the 1986 Celtics didn't count because they beat the Rockets, not the Lakers? I don't care. Mahomes is good. He's damn good. And he's about to do something that none of them else could do. Like, I don't care about the comparison. I don't care. But I do have here I go, making a point to help my argument. I got something on Josh Allen I wanted to get into. His company's not great. Do you have something on this, guys, by the way?
I mean, I'm with you. The Brady Mahomes thing, it's going to get beaten to death. I'm sure, all our other shows on this station will be at the Super Bowl, and I'm sure that'll be a topic of discussion all week from, every single guest they have. But for me, yeah, I'm with you. Brady has 7. I think Mahomes is the second best quarterback to ever live. He's incredible. He's the best quarterback since Brady. I've ever seen. The only other one that I think is even in the conversation, and that's what this is about. I think Patrick Mahomes deserves to be in the conversation. He is that good, but he's got to do it for 20 years, and he's got to win, 6 or 7 rings. That's still a long way to go, but he absolutely deserves, Mount Rushmore, top 2, whatever you want to say. Patrick Mahomes is all of that. He is the pinnacle of being a winner in this league. He's done nothing but go to AFC championships since the moment he was a starter in this league, and he deserves all the credit.
This guys, when I was coming up in the business, it was always Joe Montana, Joe Montana, Joe Montana. Once you touch Montana or pass Montana, then you're the greatest. Well, Brady did that. And quite frankly, Patrick Mahomes has a chance to literally do the same thing as Joe Montana if he wins this week. So, once that happens, I will then say, can Patrick Mahomes win 3 more? I'm going to bet no. I'm going to bet no. But we'll find out if he's motivated. Will Andy Reid stick around? There's a lot of things there. Just win 4 and then we'll talk. I got something on Josh Allen I wanted to get into. We'll do that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
But to beat the champs, you gotta to beat the champs, you gotta beat the champs, and we didn't do it tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people were thinking, well, they get down there for the Bills, reset year, all this stuff. But when you get this close, none of that. How much of that even matters when it comes to how successful you be this season?
Yeah, you can either get it done or you can't, and we didn't.
Since 2000, teams with 4 touchdowns and no turnovers in a playoff game are 59-3. The 3 losses when the Chiefs lost to the Patriots in 2018, when the Bills lost to the Chiefs in 2021, and when the Bills lost to the Chiefs yesterday. Just, they have their number. So this take, I've been air frying since last night, but I'm getting a little tired of the Josh Allen, Peyton Manning comp. I'm a big comp guy, and I always mention whether it's, buying a house, you look at other houses in the neighborhood. I love trading cards. I like to look at cards and what they've last sold for. It's what I look at. But when I think of quarterbacks and a comp for Josh Allen, there's not many with his ability, right? Runners, strong arms, etc. But Josh Allen is 7-6 in the postseason. That's not good. That's not good. He's 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes. And I have a comp. Many people might not like this. But I think that Josh Allen is slowly turning into what Phillip Rivers was. And I'll give you the names of the quarterbacks that he's actually beaten in the playoffs before, because it's not good. But it's getting there. It's getting there now when I think about him. This is who Josh Allen has beat in his 7 postseason wins. He's beaten Phillip Rivers. He's beaten Lamar Jackson twice, okay? So you get your credit, Josh. Yeah, you have beat Lamar Jackson, I'll give you that. Here's who else he's beaten. And Skaz, tell me if you like this list or not. So Josh Allen has 7 postseason victories. 2 against Lamar, 1 against Phillip Rivers. Then the rest, Mac Jones, Skylar Thompson, Mason Rudolph, and a rookie on the road in Bo Nix. So the great Josh Allen in the playoffs, he has beaten Lamar Jackson. So is Lamar Jackson now below Josh Allen? Yes. He's slowly turning into Phillip Rivers, and he's 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes. And when I look at Patrick Mahomes, well, his 3 postseason losses were against Joe Burrow and Tom Brady twice. So he's not this generation's Peyton Manning. As of right now, after the loss, although great, he's more like Phillip Rivers than he is Peyton Manning. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. And I have more on that, too. Phillip Rivers was 5-7 in the postseason, went 0-3 against Tom Brady. Josh Allen's the first quarterback to lose 4 playoff matchups to the same quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Now, if we get into the coaching side of things, Sean McDermott is the first head coach to lose 4 playoff matchups to the same head coach in Andy Reid. And when Josh Allen, in his 4 starts against the Chiefs, 11 touchdowns, 1 turnover. He was on the losing end of every single one of those games. So maybe to your point, Skaz, Allen's doing everything he can. It's not enough. Is it on the coach? Or do we just put it on, it's Patrick Mahomes, he can't beat him? Because I know what Mahomes is, and I know he's the greatest of this generation. But I just can't crown Josh Allen to be this generation's Peyton Manning when he's lining up to be this generation's Phillip Rivers. 617-779-0985. Tim is on the Mass Pike. Hey, Tim. What's up, bud?
So, you were talking earlier about the defensive head coaches versus the offense with the offensive coordinator and everything like that. But first off, I want to say is they were on the road, so they weren't even, expected to, they were the underdogs going in.
Well, time out. Other people have beaten Patrick Mahomes on the road.
Oh, yeah. And that was Joe Burrow.
Tom Brady did, too.
Tom Brady did not beat. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, excuse me. I didn't mean to. You're right. Yep, he beat him on the road. So Tom Brady and Joe Burrow, the best two other quarterbacks in the era, have beaten him on the road. Like I said, I'm not saying Josh Allen is or isn't anything like that. But the other thing I want to say.
Were you just doubling down on my point that he's now not Peyton Manning, he's Phillip Rivers?
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you on Josh Allen. The other thing I did want to say, though, was, and this was more about the coaching and Drake May, right? So if Drake May is a top 10 quarterback, right, the coach and the quarterback can get in there. Every AFC and NFC championship game, except for maybe Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo, has been with a top 10 quarterback in the league. If you look on the AFC, you've got Aaron Rodgers in there every year, Drew Brees, Jalen Hurts, and then on this side it's you have Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Brady, Manning, everybody throughout. So you just have to hope that Drake May is a top 10 quarterback and Babel can coach him up a little bit. And not necessarily Babel, but he can coach, and we should be all right. Like I said, it's hope that Drake May's that type of quarterback. And like I said, I know it's a crapshoot because you don't know what he is yet, but that's really our hope. And other than the Niners, who have had that loaded team and kind of a weak NFC, that's really my thought on if we're going to be successful or not.
Thanks, Tim. Well, if you missed the first 25 minutes of the show, that's exactly what I said. There's a lot of hope in Drake May. A lot of hope. Troy's in Florida, ain't Troy?
Hey, Joe, I just want to say a huge thank you to you. Back in late July, you told me that Peyton Pritchard was going to win Sixth Man of the Year and that he was going for plus 6,500 on DraftKings. Well, I looked up on Hard Rock and he was at plus 7,500, so I threw 50 on him.
Wow,
and I just cashed that shit out.
Oh, turn me up. Can't swear. By the way, is he still the favorites, guys, to win? No, who is the favorite now to win Sixth Man of the Year? I got a feeling that because of some of the struggles, Pritchard won't get it now.
No, he's still the favorite, Joe.
I'd say Nas Reed, though, right? Or they fell off a little bit.
Nas Reed is way up there, plus 1,800. Pritchard is minus 175, minus 165 in most places right now.
Who's second?
DeAndre Hunter and Amen Thompson right around plus 500. So Pritchard has a huge lead right now.
See Amen Thompson tonight? I got a lot of Amen Thompson rookie cards. All right, one more before the break. Mariano in Melrose.
Hey, guys, how are you?
How you doing?
Just want to say a quick take here. One of my buddies brought this to my attention earlier, and I can't believe it's not discussed more. How is there not a chip inside the football to spot it? And why are we still going by the vision of these refs? I mean, I just feel like that's so obsolete. Almost every other major sport has some type of VAR. Why can't they put a chip in this football so they can just have accurate spots? It would really eliminate a lot of this talk about the refs last night, and I just want you guys' thoughts on the take.
Okay, I'm in on a chip on a football.
In on chips, Joe Murray.
I'm in on chips. I mean, you got to chip a dog, right?
I mean, the Premier League, all these soccer, there's chips in the balls, they have the goal line technology, all that stuff.
Does the soccer ball get affected by the chip? Does the chip get affected by the soccer ball?
I would have to imagine that they have the science down where the chip will survive.
Like a pigskin, right? Like you could probably put it over that little flap where the pump goes, or in the laces. I don't know. Are they worried about that? Is the NFL afraid to use technology on the field? I will say this. I always enjoyed baseball because it was the eye of the umps. But as I got older, I realized that all those umps from years ago were blind anyways. So, now I hate them. Chipping the football, huh? I think I'm in. I might Google that during the break. We got a Celtics game tonight. A return of a former coach. We'll talk about that as we're here until 7 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub. Sports Hub.
Here, went 3-1 on that road trip. Rockets have been good on the road, 15-7. And I like the Rockets. If you look at their last 10 games, they're 8-2. They're averaging 120 points per game. They're shooting close to almost 50% from the field. They've been playing fairly good defense. No Jabari Smith. He's still dealing with that hand injury from a couple of weeks back. But Ime Udoka comes back tonight, and he has the Rockets rolling. And I always feel that in the long run, Tatum and Brown staying together is what's best for the Celtics. But if they ever entertained it, Houston's the team to do business with their young talent, the coach,